Good Monday, makers. Welcome back to another episode of Maker Pipe Monday. So glad to have you guys with us. I'm here with Jake. Say hello, Jake.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a good weekend.
And we're talking builds. We've got some great builds from the community, some really unique ones I'm excited to talk about. Thanks, everybody, for posting them and checking them out. And yeah, we're going to see what people have been making for the last few weeks out of Conduit and Maker Pipe and some other things. First build we've got is from Instagram. And this is from Noel Shane, and this is for a cat for the Ice Queen, and you're gonna want to see this. Here it is from Instagram. Noel Shane is the user if you want to check it out, and this is a what would you call this, Jake?
I would say it's a cat tower.
So we've got Ice Queen using her cat tower. I like this use of the corrugated plastic. We don't see that too often, but that's a great cheap material for roofing and stuff. So that's used. You got this netting here and Ice Queen's right by the bird feeder, which depending on how her demeanor is, could be interesting.
Yeah, I think the way they built it's pretty smart. It's just like three levels. It looks like just all out of 90-degree connectors, just doing like rungs of 90-degree connectors,
Right.
and then
One at the base, hopefully, and then middle platform, and then the top, and then this angled platform,
yeah,
which
just stretched out. Probably has grommets, which makes it easy. And I guess that netting around the outside too. I'm not quite sure what that would be, but
yeah, that's fantastic.
they might have because I've also seen these called the catios. So you might find like pre-made like net not pre-made but like I mean it is pre-made but it's a certain dimension that you could buy and then kind of build your frame to match that dimension
Yeah,
like a catio netting.
right. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things you could use, right,
Hmm.
for that netting. But thanks, Noel Shane, for posting that on Instagram, and we loved seeing it. So great build. Thanks so much. Our next one here, and this is wild. Um, Check out this boat made out of uh, barrels.
This is V2.
This is V2. Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only, and that's
Lonnie. Hmm.
Lonnie, and Lonnie has made two of these things. This is version two, and notice the all right. Notice the coolers, right? These are igloo coolers built into the barrels, which actually, Jake, why don't you tell them what happened with that?
Yeah, so V1 there was just four barrels and then there was just a couple of coolers, but this one has coolers in every barrel, so much so that Igloo Coolers the company posted it on Instagram. And just I love the caption because the dad jokes, but it was Lonnie's boat is cooler than yours, something like that, something about it being cooler, which was really really great.
Yeah, but shout out to Igloo Coolers, which picked it up. There's the post that they put up. They did two posts
Hmm.
actually,
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to see it in action after they saw the first post.
right? And yeah, so that was wild. So shout outs to oh yeah, here is it in action that they posted.
It like turns on a dime.
It really does. And then I love it when he gas because he's got a trolling motor, right? And when he gasses it, the whole thing does a wheelie in the water. How amazing is that?
In before the Maker Pipe drag boat competition. But the frame was pretty similar to the first one.
Yeah,
I mean, he basically just built these like cavities pretty much to kind of pull the barrels tight into the frame,
right.
which is really smart. And then he used some like rubberized strap. He used conduit hanger straps to mount the seat and the motor.
What Jake's saying is really slick, and Lonnie did a neat job because like it's tight to the size of the barrels using the T connectors, and then these straps go around the bottom and just kind of sandwich it in that position. Super elegant way to attach these barrels, and then you can see kind of the prepping of the plastic barrels and the frame. So Lonnie goes into the whole building process. You've got the trolling motor bracket right there, and a lot of cool stuff. So, fantastic build.
Yeah, really cool. He goes really in depth on building it. So if you happen to want to build a fishing boat, he's got the tutorial for you. There's two videos now.
Thanks for posting that. Really amazing video. All right. Here we've got a motorcycle rack. Jake posted this from Tim. He sent it in and said, super nice product. Here's the end result, a grab bar that I connected between uh, the grab bar that I connected to is in between half inch and 3/4 inch EMT size. Okay, so he's using the existing rack here. This black, nope, this silver chrome pipe here. That's the size he's talking about. So he had to do some shimming to get the T connectors to grab onto it, and then built this. The black bars is the rack, and this is really clutch because trying to find a rack for your motorcycle and have it be custom to whatever setup you have is super hard.
especially on classic bikes.
Yeah. So his technique, Tim's technique was to take plumbing wall tube and then he made connect spacers for the connections. Worked great.
Nice.
Awesome build. Thanks for sending that one in.
Yeah, really cool.
Steve in NorCal has this had some connectors left over from a different project, I think. Yeah. Some T connectors left over from a different project. And take a look at the rod and reel holder that he's got on the back of his cap in his pickup truck.
Yeah, he's gone through quite a few iterations. He said he's had a lot. He said he's in NorCal. He's had a lot of issues with heat,
Mm,
where like that bar in the very front that the Velcro strap is connected to. He said that was PVC conduit.
hmm
He said then it kind of deformed from the heat, and the Velcro straps were starting to unstick from the heat. So he's had to change quite a few different things. But I think he said in the comments he's finally got a version that's working and surviving the heat.
Steve does a great job. He talks about the different iterations and some of the things that he used to construct it. So if you're interested, definitely check that out. That's awesome, Steve. Thanks so much for posting that. Really cool, and thanks for putting some effort into all the details. I think people are going to find that useful. All right, we got Brian, who you also he sent this in and posted it.
Another leftover connector project.
Right, um, which hey, if you got buy extra connectors. What can
Yeah.
we say? And then keep them around because I really do think. I mean, I don't know, just I'm biased, of course, but like you build one thing, you kind of see the possibilities, and then have some connectors around. I guarantee down the road, there'll be a solution waiting to be fixed with some extra connectors. But
Yep. And conduit. I think he said he had leftover too.
yeah, scrap pieces of conduit. You can tell by, kind of, the scrap pieces of conduit because you hate cutting them, right? Like if you have those pieces and you're kind of doing a temporary project, you kind of want to just use them as is and preserve them because you can always take it apart. But what this is a garden cover roller to store the garden cover in a neat way that's easily deployable. And what is that? Is you think that's like a piece of PVC?
I think so. Yep. I think he did like a U shape kind of with T connectors, made like a U shape
Uh-huh.
kind of holder.
Okay.
PVC sits down in it.
Yeah.
And I would imagine he probably just grabs onto it and rolls it up. Um, he said it was just a pretty simple addition. He said next year he's gonna really engineer it up, but this year he just needs something quick and looks like a great solution.
And how can you beat that, right? You got some scraps laying around, some extra connectors, and you solve a problem. So, Brian, awesome job. Thanks for sharing that. We love seeing it. Here is a review that we had through the website. Richard posted this, and he's out of Maryland. Did a boat blind build. We talk about boat blinds, but the thing is, like, you've got your boat, and you want to customize this to how your boat is, and a lot of boats are different. So this is a custom build, and what we've seen is pretty much a conduit structure that attaches to the boat, and then Richard's putting on some camo netting there and a little bit of grass. A lot of people, we've seen natural grass and things from the area, and just snipped out this what would you call this?
It almost looks like cattle panels, but it's not quite.
No,
I think it's softer than that.
yeah, it's not chicken wire. I guess
Yeah.
it could. It's like a hardware welded wire sort of
Mm,
frame,
yeah, maybe like some kind of wire cloth, but it still looks pretty like bendable. You kind of bend it to shape.
right? So he created the overall framework, and then was able to cover it with everything and attach it to the frame.
I really like the way that he attached it to the boat because that seems to be the hardest challenge to overcome with a custom way. But he didn't
Where was
actually
that?
attach it to the boat.
Oh, he didn't
What's
attach it.
cool is he built the frame to kind of hug the inside. So if you go to that like overtop view again, you'll see the framework kind of sits down in the boat. And I guess the way it's angled on top,
Oh my
everything
gosh,
just
this?
kind of, I think so. Yeah.
Oh wow,
I'm pretty sure.
that's
Yeah,
part of the frame.
I think so. I think that's the way it's attached. I could be wrong, but I think he kind of made the frame to sit down in the boat.
Hmm.
And then the way all the angles and everything, the weight kind of pulls it down to the boat. Seems like a good solution if you don't have a way to secure it to the boat or you don't want to drill into your boat at all.
Hmm.
Especially because a lot of people will take the blinds out and store them, and then if it's like they just want to fish and they don't want to duck hunt, um, so that seems like a good idea for that
Yeah, I think you're
solution.
right. You can see kind of the angle coming down, and then it sits in the bottom. Neat. All right. Well, thanks, Richard. Awesome build. Here's one from Bill. Um, Bill's been struggling with a good way to mount our 7-gallon water jugs when camping. Um, so the stand had to be impervious to the rain, able to adjust on even ground, and sturdy. So like as Bill was thinking about this project, he was thinking about wood, obviously, unistrut, which is another popular material, and he settled on maker pipe. And so awesome that Bill did. We appreciate that. But check this out. This is a camping water jug holder. So you're able to elevate the jug, wash your dishes and pour out the soap holder.
Yep.
That is awesome. Got a second shelf for, and that thing's, so what's that? 7 gallons, 8 pounds a gallon. 7 times 8 is 56, over 100 pounds, if my math is okay. Um,
And I thought it was really cool too that he used the telescoping clamps to adjust. I think he said he gets an extra 20 inches out of the bottom.
right.
And I asked, I was like, with that much weight, how are the telescoping clamps holding up? And he said they're working great. So, because we've never really tested those too heavily, and they're
Hmm.
made of plastic and they're just kind of like squeeze with like a knob and a screw or a
Right.
bolt. We've always wondered, how strong of a solution it is, but he said it's working great with it full up, full of water. So,
Right. Oh, that's awesome to hear. Right. Because and I like how it's right at the bottom of this 90 degree. So it's kind of
hmm
supported in that way. And
right.
then all it has to do is prevent it from kind of shimmying across and wiggling with that much weight on it.
Yeah, really cool, especially when you're camping, because every everything matters when you're trying to, as we've seen all these different builds to kind of utilize space, but being able to fold that up and make it more compact
Sure.
for hauling it to the campground or wherever you're at, then
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense. It seems like a good solution.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you posting that. And check out his post in the community if you're interested in more information. All right. So Ralph made this, and take a look at this garden enclosure. This is the proverbial Fort Knox of garden enclosures. I absolutely love it. This thing is basically, I mean, I it's
It's
impressive.
magnificent.
It is magnificent.
I know where I'm going in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, this whole structure is made out of 3/4 inch EMT conduit and maker pipe connectors, and has just
There's
it's
so much.
there's so much to this. Um, but these deer are not getting in. I mean, this is uh, this is really impressive. So, a couple things. This structure has got, let's say these are 5 foot spans. It's at least 30 feet long,
Yeah,
or they could even be 10-foot span. No, they look a little short. And then this peaked roof is immense. It's got to be at least 20 feet high, 15 feet high, something like that, with a 45 pitched roof. Um, And I just love the preparation of the ground. Like this is a serious endeavor. And then even some chicken wire in the ground right at the base, so things aren't tunneling underneath,
Even if you turn this into a greenhouse,
right?
all those cattle panels, I'm sure add some reinforcement to the frame.
Hmm.
But then you just drape, greenhouse plastic on it. Uh,
Right.
just make it a winter greenhouse. It's just
Yeah.
really cool.
You can imagine where this is a lot of different uses for a space like this. This is the ultimate garden protector, but you could come up with a lot of uses. You could live in the thing.
Yeah, really cool.
Imagine. That's another good video idea.
Yeah.
Let's dive into the structure because I think that's important, right?
Hmm.
So um, you've got you've got simple walls, right, verticals, but you also have reinforcements using 180s or 90 degrees. So they reinforce the walls around, which definitely helps everything stay stable. And then the way they transition to the roof were these 45-degree connectors that were on top of the wall verticals. And then there was this reinforcement that created, I think the door's on the other side, but they kind of mirrored that on this side as well, where they did another vertical on the end walls that kind of supported it as well, and did 45s off of that to create this brace in the middle,
Hmm.
uh, making a triangle. And then it looks like because it's a 45-degree slope or a 12-12 pitch that you could use a 90 on the ridge and just run a pole all the way through.
Yeah, for sure.
So really cool build. A lot of thought goes in to making something like that. And Ralph, tremendous job. Thanks everybody for posting these builds to the community. Go to connect.makerpipe.com if you want to see more or post your build, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.